All right. So this is going to be in line, educational websites, with our assignment on Wednesday, Thursday, whatever your class is, for my students that are watching us online too. So we're going to talk about technologies for managing digital content and cloud computing and other resources and web quests and virtual field trips and video conferencing and all this other stuff throughout this. We'll look at online virtual learning and virtual schools and some of the problems with them, because there's a lot of problems with them, but we'll get into that. Types of educational websites. And then these are the focus questions. How can teachers utilize the information they get? How can teachers organize? What's the advantages and complexities? And how can different types of educational websites help, basically? So, you know, obviously the internet offers an unparalleled wealth of academic info and knowledge, but not only teachers increasingly rely on the abundant digital content, but students do as well. So, I mean, it's this whole big thing that we are now so far away from textbooks anymore, or actual hard copy textbooks. You may have textbooks, but they're gonna be digital. How many have the textbook? 2 people, 3 people. None of y'all have the textbook. Yeah,
I got
okay, yeah. How many people have a textbook? Okay, online or paper? Okay, so I guess more of you have it online, but that's the way we're going. We'll look at a site called Ditch That Textbook, because, you know, we're not using them much anymore. Okay, so finding, organizing information is an important task, and that's the problem, because it's often hard. You know, most of us aren't organized anyway, just in our personal lives and stuff, so it's hard to be organized in your personal life, your school life, and your professional life. It's a, you know, juggling act, and I think you can all relate to that at some point. Okay, so, but really, if we get smart with our websites and do this stuff, we can be organized in our professional life. Bookmarking and cloud computing, well, yeah, bookmarking allows one to easily catalog or revisit the websites. Thank you, Captain Obvious, okay? So the other thing is clouds. Now, how many people use a cloud, like Google Cloud or something like that? Apple Cloud?
Yeah.
Apple Cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah. No one else?
I mean, everybody should have one.
You all are, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
Anytime you email, you're using a cloud.
Mhm.
Okay, it's going somewhere. I know my students online can't see this, but underneath these tables, there are green wires. What are those? Ethernet cables, okay? They go into pipes actually in the concrete when this room was made, that go into a room over there. And over there's a server for this room. And the server connects to the leg bone connects to the, no, I'm sorry. Too much with the kids this weekend. So that server connects to the College of Education server, that connects to the FAMU server, which connects to some Tallahassee server, which connects to the Southeast Regional server, which connects to the, you know, the world. Okay, so we all have to start somewhere. We're all connected. But a cloud is simply somewhere in this world, there's an office building with a bunch of computers in it, a bunch of hard drives in it that saves your stuff. That's all it is, you know. There ain't no cloud in the sky, it's a hard drive saving your stuff. So we're going to take a quick look at our email, because I don't know if you guys know, your emails, FAMU email is a very powerful tool. Serious. Up here in the upper left-hand corner, you will see some dots up there,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You ever clicked on that?
Yes.
Some of you have, some of you haven't. When you click on it,
Word.
you've got Word, PowerPoint, you've got a cloud drive you can save all your stuff to, the OneCloud, you got Excel, Notes. SharePoint is kind of a sharing thing, we use it in the College of Education a lot. Team Sway and Class Notebook and Forums, I have no idea what those are. You can look at those. But like SharePoint, we use like all the time, that's how we share files in the College of Ed. So we have all this stuff, we even have stuff for our department. And there's something I shared with somebody, no idea what that is. But, so it's a powerful tool, and it does have the OneDrive that you can save stuff into. Now, back in the day, I used to walk around with a giant necklace full of jump drives. I probably had like 20 jump drives around because I needed all my stuff, okay, with me. But now I have the, now I use actually Dropbox, which is another one. Whoop. And I have a ton of stuff on here, and everything I do goes to this Dropbox. And I actually pay $9 a month for extra. I got like 3 terabytes worth of room, and I probably used well over 1.5 terabytes full of stuff because I got stuff here from when I taught at Ohio State. I mean, back 2002 and beyond, 1999. I got stuff in it. My whole academic career's in there. I try to keep like my personal stuff out of there, taxes and so forth and so on, but, you know, but it's free for you guys, and I feel more comfortable with this than I do Google or the FAMU one. This has got a little bit more security. It's free, you get, I don't know, a couple gigabytes for free, you just gotta sign up, so. But we're growing ever increasingly dependent on these clouds, and they're not gonna go away, so. So this, and again, I can access my Dropbox anywhere. I've got on my phone, any computer I go to, I can access it, if I remember my name and password. Okay. Social bookmarking. So social bookmarking is a really kind of different concept. We all know what bookmarking is, but social bookmarking is more of a collaboration between like-kind individuals in their professional endeavors, so math teachers, science teachers, or whatever. It's a place you can go to put keywords in that'll you put a keyword in and it'll take you to a link that someone has put in to a website or something like that. It's a collaborative thing. There's a video here that you guys can watch. I don't think we're gonna watch it in here, but yikes, I have no idea what that is. So yeah, it's just how this all works. And this guy's actually schlepping a product called Delicious. That's like a place you can go to start a social bookmarking community. But you know, it's pretty interesting the way it works. So I would advise you to watch that, but there's a lot of different things. Information alerts, so we get, how many are on the FAMU alert system that tells you, you know, weather or something happened, active shooter or something like that, you know. So we have all these different information alerts, and there's all kinds of them. It doesn't have to be bad news stuff. You know, something happening with the football team or something like that, you can go on the FAMU academics alert system. E-newsletters, I think we all get that. You subscribe to something, they'll send you stuff in email. RSS, really simple syndication feeds. Have you seen this sign before on websites? You may not know what it is. If you click on that, put your email in, or give them some type of information. Anytime that website updates at all, you'll get an alert. So if you're on, if that's something you wanna do. This has kinda gone away, but, it was actually prevalent for a while. Organizing website resources to meet standards. Well, there's a thing called a standards connector. And it's got all kinds of stuff in it, including social bookmarking, tagging, all that stuff. I put CPalms on there because next week, we'll be doing the CPalms assignment. This week, we're doing teacher website assignment. But it is an all-in-one encompassing thing for teachers in the state of Florida, so we'll look at that a little more in the next couple of weeks. WebQuest, I used to do WebQuest in this class. I used to have you guys make a WebQuest. And a WebQuest is simply, you tell the students, you're getting them from point A to point Z. There may be a lot of different points in between to get them there, but you're just trying to get them to know a concept. So you set the stage, you give it the activities, you give them step-by-step instructions, how it's gonna be evaluated, and a summary, but it's really just, you're having them go to different websites and then maybe write stuff down about it. You give them a place to write about this website, and you have them go to another one. We did it in NASA, we did a WebQuest at NASA, before we could get our money, stipend, we were getting paid money to go, but before we do it, we'd have to jump through their hoops, and one of their hoops was their WebQuest, and it had us go to every NASA center in America, and I think there's 8 or 12, I can't remember, but then you had to find something on the website and tell them what it said, and then pass. So that was the type of WebQuest. You follow me here? It's kind of easy concept, but you can make it hard. And there's a lot of cool places to get ideas, like webquest.org. They've got, different WebQuests that you can look at to see how other people are doing them and stuff like that. So it's an interesting concept. I was doing it in here, but it was just like, it was a little bit too much trouble for beginning students to really make them. I was getting about 80% success rate, but 20% maybe just drop it, so. Okay, so there's 4 essential webcast designing things here, so what's gonna interest the students? What primary ideas do you wanna teach? Different skill levels, that's a problem too, And then, is it seamless in its integration of technology? So it can be problematic. But it can also be very beneficial. I mean, if I was teaching you guys every day for 50 minutes, you would be doing WebQuest, but I only got you twice a week, so. Virtual field trips, those are other ones that are really cool that, VR, virtual reality and augmented reality are really big in schools these days. So you can buy these things, these are called Google Box, I believe, and they're like $5. And you just stick your phones in them and go to an app and you get some virtual reality stuff happening. And it's just grown and grown and grown. We were doing it a couple years ago, and I looked at the app the other day, and it had like 300 or 400 different ones compared to like 2 years ago, or maybe 20. So it's just grown. And then these glasses are getting much more cheaper, because I see them at Walmart now, VR glasses, $12 and stuff. So I don't know if the quality's as cheap either. I know my counterpart down at the DRS, he just got, I think, 25 pairs of VR glasses that he's going to be working with. This is called Ditch the Textbook, and it's 25 virtual field trip ideas and activities for your classroom. So if you have the, I don't know, quote unquote, normal VR glasses, you probably get into this. But there's all kinds of different, and of course, they want you to buy their stuff. There's all kinds of different stuff you can look at, and different field trips that you can go on just about any subject you can think of. So that link is there. Gotta take a look at it. Okay, more Captain Obvious stuff here. And this is a funny one. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Here, take this rock. Come on, that's your jokes, guys. Wow. Lord have mercy. I know it's Monday and all, but come on, I'm trying to wake you all up. When people tell me thank you, I'm not sure they always mean it. Okay, yeah. So we probably know how to use Skype and FaceTime and those types of things. I think the book's trying to tell you that, there's different ways we can use it in the classroom. We can have guest speakers Skype in or whatever you're gonna do and things like that. I guess you could Skype parents if you wanted. Parents and teachers could Skype each other, FaceTime each other. Yeah, I know, it's boring. I'm getting some yawners, I get it. Okay. Online distance or learning, virtual schools. I am teaching an online course for this section, and I'm also teaching, I've taught several online grad ones, and I really hated them. You would think, I'm very deep in the technology that I would like this stuff, but I really didn't. I'm liking it more now. But it's really a lot of work to do it. And the first time, when you have to design an online class for the first time, it's a pain in the hind, man, let me tell you. But then if you're teaching it over and over again, it's not, because you've already built it. But building it can be very taxing. It can also be, so we have blended, which means, or hybrid, which means I think the key is 80% of it's online, 20% is face-to-face. You have full online. You have, like my class is called Web Enhanced, where once in a while I can do what I did this past week, where I had you guys not come to class, you just did the assignment. Everything was explained to you online. The participation is growing rapidly, but that's kind of misleading. Most of you went to Florida schools. Did you have to take a virtual class in order to graduate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you have to take two?
No.
No, they're gonna make you take two now. Okay, and how many of you that did take the online virtual, was it driving? Driver's ed? Yeah, okay. All right, so,
I took it at the worst time too.
they can. The Florida virtual schools are saying, yeah, our stuff went way up, but it went way up because you're making the kids do it. You are literally making the students do it in order, you're hijacking them. In order for them to graduate, they've got to take your stuff, and I get it. They want it, they've worked hard on it. They've made, it's not easy to do all this stuff, but we're finding out, particularly, remember the University of Phoenix? You don't hear about that too much anymore, do you? No, because it's pretty much gone down the tubes. The government spent a lot of money, the federal government gave them a ton of money, and the graduation rate in 16-17 was 19%. Because it takes a certain type of person to do online. You have to be, you can't procrastinate, you have to either do it or you don't, And I know my wife she got her master's in public health online, and it was not easy for her or me. So, but she trudged through and got it done. But she would tell you, you know, it was not an easy thing to do. And so blended and hybrid, clicks and bricks, you're clicking some, you're in the brick and mortar building some of the time. And again, this relates to us, some states, Florida being one of them, make you take stuff. So there are critics of this. You know, we can allow students flexibility, preparedness for online life and 21st century skills and all that stuff. But, you know, who's teaching? Are the teachers accredited? How do we know? Are they licensed? You know, what's going on? I mean, we're not talking Florida virtual schools. I'm sure they pretty much have it down, but I mean, if you're taking classes from, or your children are taking classes from somewhere, how do you know? They operate as a business, which may compromise educational quality to maximize profit. And virtually, they score lower on standardized tests and take longer to graduate. You know, public high schools, graduation rate, that's actually lower. But, you know, virtual schools are in the 40% of graduation rate. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, when we started doing this stuff, it was like, man, this is gonna just catch like wildfire, and it did. But some people need to be sitting there listening to somebody. You know, some people need that. You know, actually, most people do. You know, it's fun to have an online thing like we did last week, where you didn't have to come to class once in a while, and you're like, cool, you know, and it's a homecoming week, and you didn't have to come, and it's great and all that. But you know, I went to a conference once where, just a really quick story. I went to a conference once, and there was Florida Virtual School lady was there, and our provost was there. Her name was Marcella David at the time, the provost then, and you know, the virtual school lady saying, yeah, you know, family, you don't need to build any more buildings, because, you know, we're going to be doing it all online pretty soon. You know, she went on and on and on. Well, Marcella Davis said, yeah, we're going to keep building buildings. And she says, you know, the pharmacy building was the new pharmacy building was just getting done, you know. She says, you know, that one's getting done, and we're doing another one after that, and another one after that. Huh?
I said, we're getting over the park.
Well, you know, park is, you know, I got the great spot, that's all I can. Y'all can deal with it.
I wish they'll just turn that parking spot by the Welcome Center into a garage. That'd be a really nice.
Well,
place.
we really do need like 3 other garages
Yeah.
around here. And, you know, I'm sure they're in the works,
No,
but, nah, you don't know that.
you know, their excuse for everything is you can park at the stadium.
Okay.
That's too
Like it's
far.
not
We're-
a million of us. That's damn far.
That's too far.
We're gonna
Say
move
brand
on
new
from that. I
home.
picked up these ladies, this weekend from the DoubleTree to take them down, and they saw the Venom Express, and they're like, what is that? So I never had that when I went here. So make them kids walk. I'm paying all this alumni money, and now I'm getting bus rides from everywhere. So I never had to walk
And that's their
everywhere.
excuse to they're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's the bus stop at every parking location.
It was quite comical, actually.
What?
MOOCs. Okay, MOOCs are massive open online courses. Okay, it started at RIT and Harvard, I believe, and they're free courses that you can take at every level. So if you want to take a master's class, you want to say, let me take this master's class, see how I do, help me decide whether I want to go to grad school or not. You know, you can take them.
But do you get the credit for them?
Sometimes, like if, sometimes you do. You gotta check with your school, you know. Generally, if you're getting, you know, you're registering at Harvard to take a MOOC, or other places, not just Harvard or RIT, it's MOOCs are all over the place now. But, you know, it's really like, also, the concept was, it was for people, the community, to have access to classes that spark their interest, not necessarily their careers and stuff. So you know, if you were interested in physics, you know, and you wanna just take a class just to see what it's all about, you know, you can do it for free, you know, at these places. So it kinda took off, it's kinda flattened out now, but it really took off for a while. And again, it was part of the online, what's the word I'm searching for? The online startups that we had, you know, a few years ago where everything was gonna be online, so we're finding out it's not. Websites and apps, okay, so this is what we're gonna talk about for Thursday, because they're actually gonna find a couple websites that are going to work with your lesson plan decision. So if you can't remember what your lesson plan decision was, you better revisit that for Thursday, okay? But there are a ton of them out there. Instructional, games, there's a lot of really high quality sites. There's all these best websites for teachers you can go to. CPalms is another place that we'll look at in a couple of weeks, but it's got all kinds of stuff in there too. They have lesson plan websites, which you're also gonna look at a little bit down the road. I have 2 website hunts that you do. One is to help you in the classroom, one is to help you as a teacher. Okay, we're gonna do the one to help you in the classroom this week. So that, you know, we'll get into this pretty heavy. There are just all kinds, skills, practice, games, exploration, discovery. I like, what you're gonna do for me is interactivity. You're gonna find me websites connected to your lesson plan decision that have interactivity, and you can find them. It may take you a minute, but you can find them. And, you know, we're Thursday, or Wednesday, whatever, we're gonna look at a couple of these, like NASA Kids Club, PBS Kids, Disney, all kinds of stuff for kids out there, that students can do, the interactivity, exploration, and engagement that we want them to do. Geez, we're almost done, guys, aren't we? Should we go back and talk a little more? No? Come on. Okay. Wait, we are done. No, we have to go back.
Why?
No, we don't have to go back. Okay, that was a fast one, guys. Aren't you happy? We're done.
Yay.
Huh? I did with the graphics.